Greetings, Magic players. This is Steve from Untapped Games. Today I am going to open a Magic Origins Clash Pack. This Clash Pack is called Armed and Dangerous. Based on the colors on the top, I can tell. Armed is probably going to be green and white, and Dangerous is going to be white, black, and green. So this should be fun. So as with all Clash Packs, actually I'll take a look on the back here. As with all Clash Packs, you can either take on a friend, and so you'll be playing Armed versus Dangerous, or you can combine for the ultimate weapon. And there's like an ideal deck that you can build through combining these two. Actually, I don't know if it's ideal, but there is a deck that you can make out of both decks that are in here. So contents: 2 ready-to-play 60-card decks, including 6 premium cards with new artwork. That's usually what I'm very interested in, the ones with new artwork. Strategy insert for tips for building the ultimate tournament deck. So it's something more akin. When they say ultimate tournament deck, what they really mean is it's an event deck. It's something that's more akin to an event deck. There are also a deck box and a Magic Rules reference card, which, you know, that's the most valuable part of the Clash Pack, is the Rules reference card. So in all seriousness, this is probably one of the best Clash Packs. No, I'm just going to say it is the best Clash Pack that I've ever seen them put out. They did not fool around with what is in this as far as value goes. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Okay, let me just get all the stuff out. I think I got it. Alright, yeah. So, pack of material, don't need that anymore. So that's also kind of pack material. This is my box. Inside the box is the Rules reference card. So this box can contain both of the decks, I believe. Yeah, both of the decks unsleeved, probably not sleeved. I also have this. This is going to tell me a bit about each deck, and it's also going to tell me what I should do to combine both decks into one deck. So on this side I have the deck lists for Armed here and Dangerous here, and then on the other side it tells me what to do to make a combined deck, a white, black, green deck. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's get right to it. This one is, I think this is this Armed? Maybe it's Armed. We'll see. It'll all depend on whether there's black in it. Okay, so right off the bat I have a alternate art Honored Hierarch. It is 1 green for a Human Druid, 1/1, Renown 1. As long as it is Renown, it has Vigilance, and tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Pretty cool. Valorous Stance, that's 1 and a white. This is another alternate art. So you see it has that promo symbol there. And all the alternate arts are foil, so it's got that going for it. It's instant speed. Choose 1, target creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater. Nice. Seeker of the Way, 1 and a white. For a human warrior, it is a prowess creature. It's 2/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gains a lifelink until end of turn. Cool. Kythian's Irregulars, 2 and 2 white for Renown 1, 4/3 human soldier that you can pump white into to tap creatures. So for every 2 white you tap, you get to tap a creature. Outland Colossus, 3 and 2 green for a 6/6 giant with Renown 6. So that's crazy. I mean, a 6/6 for 5 is already good, but when you add Renown 6 to that, you're swinging with 12 mana if they let this through. And it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So that is really cool. Windswept Heath, Alrighty, here's some value. It's always great to have a Clash pack that contains a fetch land in it. So you can tap it to pay 1 life, sack it, search your library for a forest or plains card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So there's already some money there. Speaking of even more value, Collected Company, 3 and a green. For an instant, look at the top 6 cards of your library, put up to 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. It's great. It's played in Standard. It's also seeing some play in Modern in Zoo. So it's just a great card for decks that have just creatures with mana cost 3 or less, because then as soon as you cast this, you are pretty much guaranteed to get a ton of value. Dromoka's Command, another great card. So that's a green and a white. For an instant, choose 2, prevent all damage target instant or sorcery spell would deal this turn. Target player sacrifices an enchantment, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So fantastic utility for white-green. Anointer of Champions. That's a white human cleric. Tap, target attacking creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's 1/1. Dragon Hunter. 1 white, human warrior, protection from dragons. It can block dragons as though it had reach. It's a 2/1. Dromoka Warrior. 1 and a white, human warrior, 3/1. Topin Freeblade. Hard to say. 1 and a white, human soldier, vigilance, renown 1 and 2/2. Another one of those. Undercity Troll, 1 and a green for a troll. Renown 1, it's a 2/2. You can tap 2 and a green to regenerate it. Another one of those. Consul's Lieutenant, 2 white, human soldier, first strike, renown 1. And when it attacks, if it's renowned, other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. It's 2/1. Dragon Bell Monk, 2 and a white, human monk, vigilance, prowess, 2/2. Valoran Wardens, 2 and a green, renown 2. It's 1/3. Whenever a creature you control becomes renowned, draw a card. Another one of those. Citadel Castellan, 1 a green and a white for human knight, vigilance, renown 2, and it's a 2/3. Good stats. Another one of those. War Oracle, 2 and 2 white for a human cleric. It's got lifelink, renown 1, and it's a 3/3. Another one of those. I have Blossoming Sands, the white-green pain land. When it enters the battlefield tapped, so it's not a pain land, it's a gain land. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap it to get a green or a white. Another one. Evolving Wilds, tap, sack it, search your library for basic land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. 2 of those for some basic filtering for mana. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plains, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 forests as my land base. Enshrouding Mist, 1 white mana for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to it this turn. If it's renowned, untap it. Enshrouding Mists again. Feat of Resistance, 1 and a white, instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Mighty Leap, 1 and a white. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. Instant. Another one of those. Pacifism, 1 and a white. Enchantment Aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. Got 2 of those. Pressure Point, 1 and a white. Instant. Tap target creature, draw a card. Epic Confrontation, 1 and a green. Sorcery, target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control, and I have 2 of those. Titanic Growth, 1 and a white, instant. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. I have 2 of those. Alright, fantastic. So those were my armed cards. That was that deck. That was armed. And now I'm going to look at dangerous. So let me get that all packed up. And I will file that away under armed. And let's take a look. So this deck is going to be probably slightly more complicated because it is 3-color deck. I noticed that the armed deck seemed to focus around getting out value creatures, getting renown with them. So I guess that's the armed theme, is renown, and then protecting them. So right off the bat, I have Dromoka the Eternal, 3, a green and a white for a legendary dragon. So this is the one from Khans of Tarkir. It is alternate art, really cool art there with Dromoka getting ready to, like, I don't know, she's gonna like vomit a sunbeam on somebody. It's a flying 5/5. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, bolster 2. Sandstep Citadel with alternate art. That's a really cool looking sort of mesa formation there. Land Sandstep Citadel enters the battlefield tapped. Add a white, black, or green to your mana pool. So I guess that's not mesas. That's they're just, it's a castle that looks like a bunch of, you know, painted mesas. Siege Rhino, 1 white, black, and green for a Rhino 4/5. When siege, and it has trample. When Siege Rhino enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Some cool Kev Walker artwork there for the alternate art, and of course Siege Rhino is a great card. It's such a large toughness, such good value here. It has value from the moment it enters play, and then it's something that they immediately need to deal with. Great card. Abzan Ascendancy, white, black, and green. Enchantment. When Abzan Ascendancy enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Citadel Siege, 2 and 2 white for an enchantment. As it enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. When you choose Khans at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Choose Dragons at the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn. Tap target creature that player controls. Anafenza Kintree Spirit, 2 white. 2 white for legendary creature, Spirit Soldier. It's a 2/2 whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, bolster 1. Avatar of the Resolute, 2 green for an avatar with reach, trample. It's a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, it does so with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Disowned Ancestor, 1 black, Spirit Warrior, 0/4, and has Outlast, which means that you can tap. It has Outlast 1 and a black, which means that you can pay that cost, tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on it, use that only as a sorcery. I have another one of those. Einok Bloodkin, 1 and a white for a Hound Soldier. It's 2/1 with Outlast 1 and a white. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has first strike. Einok Bloodkin, 1 and a white, Outlast 1 and a white. I just did that. Lightwalker, 1 and a white. Lightwalker has flying as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. It's 2/1. We got 3 of those. Abzan Falconer, 2 and a white. Has Outlast 1 white. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has flying. That's 2/3. Have 2 of those. Tuskguard Captain, 2 and a green. Outlast green. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. It's 2/3. Abzan Battle Priest, 3 and a white. Outlast 1 white. Each creature you control has +1/+1 counter on it. With a +1/+1 counter on it has lifelink, and that's 3/2. Murek Nightblade, 3 and a white for an Orc Assassin. Outlast 1 black. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Death Touch, and it's 2/3. Longshot Squad, 3 and a green. Hound Archer, Outlast 1 green, 1 and a green. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Reach. It's 3/3. Elite Scale Guard, 4 and a white. When Elite Scale Guard enters the battlefield, bolster 2 whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks. Tap target creature defending player controls, and it's a 2/3 creature. I have a Blossoming Sands again, and yet another Blossoming Sands. Jungle Hollow, when it enters the battlefield, tapped. When it enters the battlefield, gain 1 life, tap it for a green or a black. And I have 2 of those. I have 2 Scoured Barons. Scoured Barons enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, gain 1 life, tap it for a white or black. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forests, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swamps. I have a suspension field, 1 and a white, enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature with toughness 3 or greater until suspension field leaves the battlefield. A debilitating injury, 1 and a black, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -2, -2. Ultimate price, 1 and a black, instant, destroy target monocolored creature. I have 2 of those. Ancestral Vengeance, 2 black for an enchant aura. Enchant creature, when an Ancestral Vengeance enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Enchanted creature gets -1, -1. Cash Defenses, 2 and a green for a sorcery, bolster 3. I have 2 of those. Map the Wastes, 2 and a green for a sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library, bolster 1. 2 of those. Scale Blessing, 3 and a white for an instant, bolster 1, then put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Dramoka's Gift, 4 and a green, instant, bolster 4. 2 of those. Incremental Growth, 3 and 2 green for sorcery, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, put two +1/+1 counters on another target creature, and 3 +1/+1 counters on a third target creature. And I have 2 of those. So obviously Dangerous is a bolster deck, so it involves putting +1/+1 counters on the weakest creatures you control and just bringing every creature up in power toughness, and then they all get cool super abilities with all these 2 and 3 drop creatures that give special abilities to creatures that have +1/+1 counters on them. So pretty cool deck. And let me see, I guess we have time. Let me just take a glance at the build your own deck for Armed and Dangerous. So it looks like it contains a lot of the stuff that I would assume it would contain, like the Siege Rhino. A lot of the heavy hitters are in it, and it does look like it takes advantage, like with the Light Walker, of the +1/+1 counter synergies. And then for other spells, the non-creature spells, it does indeed have, it has some of the control splashed in there: Suspension Field, Pacifism, Ultimate Price, and then it has stuff that looks for creatures like Collected Company. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's what you'd expect. It's sort of a combination of the strength of the 2 decks. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was Armed and Dangerous. That's the Magic Origins Clash pack. Although I noticed that there was a lot of stuff from Khan's block there. So that was a large portion of that theme there. And that's okay, because a lot of the value of this deck was from Khan's block. So both of these are going to fit perfectly in here. I can even use this card right here to separate the 2. And there I go. So if you're interested in this deck, I'm going to leave a link in the description. I'm also putting a link in the description to our contest this month. It lasts until midnight, August 1st, 2015. And you can enter that to win some Magic Origins packs. So check out the other link in the description to find out how to do that. Until next time, guys, take care.